Let me thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to speak to all of you. I think the fact that this country is going to grow at 6 or 7% over the next many decades is well documented. Yes, we've been growing at 5% for the last few years, but I think over a period of time we'll go back to a reasonable level of growth. And I think as a result of that growth, wealth will be created, some of it legal, some of it illegal. But I think the fact that wealth will be created, I think, is undoubted. A lot of people will get rich. And I think what that really means is that there will be opportunities for many of us to be able to manage this wealth. And I think, why do we need management of this wealth? Because I think something that's not going to change overnight is the level of financial literacy in this country. And I think I know so many reasonably rich people who don't know what to do with their money. But I think it just lies in fixed deposits or gold or real estate. So if you see the way household savings are cut, about 55-60% goes into fixed deposits, 10-15% goes into gold, 10-15% goes into real estate, and financial assets, be it mutual funds, equities, insurance, is really less than 10%. And I think that has to change over a period of time. And I think it's not going to change overnight. And I think both parties have to do some work. And I completely agree with Deena when she said that one has to create the want for a financial advisor. And I think over the last 5 years, fixed deposits, real estate, and gold have done really well for investors, and they think that they're as good financial advisors as anybody else. So how do we address this key issue? On the one side, yes, wealth is going to be created, and that wealth is not necessarily allocated in the appropriate manner, not only for today, but more from a generational perspective as well. And I think there, I completely agree with Deena in terms of what she said, it's a function of trust. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I studied pretty hard for 3 years to be able to finally qualify as a chartered accountant. If you're a doctor, you got to study for 5 years. If you're an engineer, you got to go to a school for 4 years. But to be a wealth manager, there is no such requirement. So here we are saying that young people with no entry barriers, or middle-aged people with no entry barriers, will advise me on the crores and crores of money that I have. There is a contradiction in terms here. I think one of the first things that we need to do is to be able to create a more credible certification program for wealth managers. So if I say that I am a certified wealth manager, it should hold some weight in the eyes of the investors. And so therefore, the advice that I give you becomes a lot more credible. Today, what is happening is that most of the advice is really given out by banks, the large financial institutions, and some of the larger, sort of financial brokerage houses, and so on and so forth. But if huge amounts of wealth are going to be created, we also need to create a high quality resource base which can go deep into this country. Because remember, a lot of this wealth is also being created outside the top 10 cities. And the mutual fund industry is actually working on getting what is now popularly known as the B15, or the next 15 cities going in a meaningful manner. And there's a lot of wealth being created there as well. So I think for us to be able to reach out to all these people, you need the distribution base. You need many more people to be able to advise these people in terms of what to do with their money. And I think for that, there is only one thing that you need to do is, one, you've got to create the trust, and the only way that you can create trust for yourself is to be able to create the equivalent of a chartered accountant in the wealth management space. And so in that sense, I'm very happy that we're making some progress here. And I think the other issue that we need to address as well is financial literacy. And one thing that I'm quite passionate about is that I think we need to start introducing financial literacy really from a school level. So for example, if my daughter is going through school today, I don't think she knows how a checkbook looks, or how to open an account, or what is some of the basics of money. And I think that is something that needs to get taught to to children today, such that they are, sort of financially enlightened in the next 5 to 10 years, and such that they will be able to, sort of feel the need for financial advice if they are not in the financial services industries, to feel the need to be able to get somebody's advice to manage money. And I think that's really will create opportunities, huge opportunities for chartered or for wealth advisors in the days and years to come. So with those few words, I wish the Institute all success here in India, and we will continue this conversation during the course of the morning. Thank you.